Thank you for visiting the Combs Waterkotte YouTube channel. We are a leading criminal defense law firm in Illinois and Missouri, with over 600 perfect reviews and a long history of client satisfaction, criminal case dismissals, charge reductions, and victories. Our firm has created these audio articles to help protect your freedom, reputation, and rights. If we are hired for your case, we will not give up until you receive fair justice. Incest Lawyer, Chicago, Illinois. Being charged with incest in Chicago, Illinois can have devastating consequences for your future, reputation, and personal relationships. Incest allegations are treated extremely seriously under Illinois law, and a conviction can result in significant felony prison time, steep fines, and lifelong damage to your criminal record and standing in the community. If you've been arrested or accused of incest in the Chicago area, you need an experienced criminal defense attorney on your side as soon as possible. At Combs Waterkotte, our defense lawyers understand the sensitive and complex nature of sexual relations within families' cases, and we'll work tirelessly to protect your rights, challenge the prosecution's evidence, and pursue the best possible outcome for your case. Call 3-125-HELP today to begin building your defense. Incest Defense Lawyer in Chicago, Illinois, serving all of Cook County. An incest charge in Chicago, Illinois can turn your life upside down. Beyond the possibility of prison time, a conviction can permanently damage your reputation, career opportunities, family relationships, and future. Prosecutors in Cook County aggressively pursue convictions in these cases, making it critical to secure experienced legal representation immediately. At Combs Waterkotte, we understand that incest allegations can involve complicated family dynamics, false accusations, misunderstandings, or insufficient evidence. When you hire our firm, we begin with a free, confidential consultation to hear your side of the story and examine every detail of the allegations against you. Our experienced criminal defense team will thoroughly investigate the prosecution's case, scrutinize witness statements, challenge questionable evidence, and identify any violations of your constitutional rights. We fight from the very beginning to have your charges reduced or dismissed whenever possible, and we're always prepared to defend you aggressively at trial if necessary. If you're facing incest charges in Chicago or anywhere in Cook County, don't wait to get legal help. Contact the experienced defense attorneys at Combs Waterkotte online or call 3-125-HELP today to protect your rights, your freedom, and your future. Is incest illegal in Chicago, Illinois? Under Illinois law, incest is illegal in Chicago and throughout the Cook County area. It is classified as a sex offense, and an incest conviction in Chicago or anywhere in Illinois can result in years-long prison sentences. The actual law around incest in the state of Illinois is called sexual relations within families. The offense is outlined in 720 ILCS 5/11-11, and the statute says that an individual may be charged with it when they commit an act of sexual penetration with any of the following family members: a brother or sister, a half-brother or half-sister, a mother or father to a child over 18, an adopted mother or father to a child over 18, a stepfather or stepmother to a child over 18, an aunt or uncle to a niece or nephew over 18, a great-aunt or great-uncle to a great-niece or great-nephew over 18, a grandparent or step-grandparent to a child over 18. It's worth noting that an act of sexual penetration is thoroughly defined in 720 ILCS 5/11-0.1. According to that statute, sexual penetration consists of contact between the sex organ or anus of one person and the sex organ, mouth, or anus of another person, or intrusion, however slight, of any part of the body of one person into the sex organ or anus of another person, including, but not limited to, cunnilingus, fellatio, anal penetration. Penalties for an incest conviction in Chicago, Illinois. In Chicago, Illinois, an incest offense is charged as a Class 3 felony. A Class 3 felony conviction in Cook County can result in a prison sentence between 2 and 5 years, an extended term prison sentence between 5 and 10 years, up to 2.5 years of probation, a fine up to $25,000, up to 1 year of mandatory supervised release, MSR, after release from prison. Anyone convicted of incest in Chicago or Cook County must also register as a sex offender. Under the Illinois Sex Offender Registration Act, sexual relations within families is specifically listed in 730 ILCS 150/2B 1.8 as a sex offense that requires registration. 730 ILCS 150/3 lists the actions that sex offenders must take during their registration. According to the statute, individuals required to register as sex offenders must provide the state with a current photograph, a current address, a current place of employment, a phone number, an email address, a list their social media accounts, a list of any websites or web pages they own and operate. Registration must be completed in person. 730 ILCS 150/3A1 specifically addresses sex offenders located in Chicago and notes that they must register at a location determined by the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department. For an incest conviction, Chicago or Cook County residents must remain on the sex offender registry for a period of at least 10 years. Failure to keep up with the terms of your parole or any other sex offender registration requirements can add additional time to your registration period. Finally, failure to register as a sex offender can result in additional felony charges. For a first-time failure to register, individuals are charged with an additional Class 3 felony. Second and subsequent failures to register result in a Class 2 felony charge. Criminal defense strategies against Chicago, Illinois incest charges. Because incest is a felony-level offense in Chicago and Cook County, it's vital to secure legal representation to handle your charges. Combs Waterkotte's criminal attorneys have found the following criminal defense strategies to be especially effective in securing reductions, dismissals, and acquittal for Chicago residents charged with sexual relations within families. Challenging whether sexual penetration occurred. Under Illinois law, Cook County prosecutors must prove sexual penetration beyond a reasonable doubt to secure a conviction in an incest case. In some sexual relationships within families cases, the defense may argue that the alleged conduct does not meet the statutory definition required for incest charges. Ambiguous statements, inconsistent testimony, or a lack of physical evidence can weaken the prosecution's case. Defense attorneys often scrutinize forensic reports, witness interviews, and digital communications to identify gaps or contradictions that undermine the state's allegations to create reasonable doubt. Disputing the familial relationship element. When an individual is charged with incest in Chicago, the prosecution must establish that the accused and the alleged victim fall within one of the prohibited familial relationships listed under Illinois law. A defense attorney might be able to challenge whether the relationship legally qualifies under the statute, especially in cases involving step-relatives, adoption, or disputed biological connections. Errors in family records, misunderstandings about legal guardianship, or uncertain lineage can become significant issues during litigation. By disputing this required element, the defense may weaken the prosecution's ability to prove every aspect of the offense beyond a reasonable doubt. Attacking the credibility of the allegations. Incest allegations sometimes arise during emotionally charged family conflicts involving divorce, inheritance disputes, child custody battles, or long-standing personal tensions. A criminal defense lawyer can investigate whether the accusations were motivated by retaliation, coercion, or attempts to gain leverage in related proceedings. Inconsistent timelines, contradictory witness statements, and prior false accusations may become important pieces of evidence. Demonstrating potential bias or ulterior motives can significantly impact the credibility of the allegations and raise doubt about whether the accusations are truthful. Constitutional defenses against improper police conduct. Chicago police officers must follow constitutional procedures during investigations. If police conducted unlawful searches, seized electronic devices without proper authority, or obtained statements through coercive interrogation tactics, the defense may seek to suppress that evidence in court. Fourth Amendment and Fifth Amendment violations can substantially weaken the prosecution's case when critical evidence becomes inadmissible. Defense attorneys frequently review search warrants, interrogation recordings, and arrest procedures to determine whether investigators violated the accused person's constitutional rights during the investigation process. Challenging the reliability of confessions or statements. Individuals accused of sex offenses like incest may make incriminating statements during stressful police questioning, even when those statements are inaccurate, incomplete, or taken out of context. Defense attorneys may be able to argue that investigators used intimidation, psychological pressure, or misleading tactics during interrogations. In some cases, CPD may fail to advise suspects of their Miranda rights before questioning begins. A defense strategy focused on unreliable or improperly obtained statements may seek to prevent prosecutors from introducing those admissions as evidence during trial proceedings in Cook County Criminal Court. Arguing that the accusation results from misinterpretation. Family relationships often involve complicated personal dynamics, emotional conversations, and misunderstood interactions. In certain situations, prosecutors may rely heavily on circumstantial evidence or assumptions rather than direct proof of any criminal conduct. The defense may argue that investigators misinterpreted communications, living arrangements, or witness observations during the course of the investigation. Text messages, emails, or recorded conversations can sometimes appear incriminating when viewed without proper context. Providing alternative explanations for the evidence may help create reasonable doubt regarding the prosecution's interpretation of events. Raising mental health or competency issues. Mental health conditions may play a significant role in some Chicago incest investigations and prosecutions. In some instances, the defense may argue that the accused lacked the mental capacity necessary to understand the nature of the alleged conduct or participate meaningfully in subsequent criminal proceedings. Psychological evaluations, medical records, and expert testimony may become important components of this defense strategy. While these arguments are highly fact-specific, competency and mental health concerns can affect plea negotiations, sentencing considerations, and the overall handling of a criminal case in Cook County courts. Negotiating reduced charges or alternative resolutions. Not every incest allegation proceeds to a full criminal trial. Depending on the evidence, criminal history, and surrounding circumstances, defense attorneys may negotiate with prosecutors for reduced charges or alternative case resolutions. Weak evidence, credibility concerns, or constitutional issues can create leverage during plea discussions. In some cases, attorneys may seek outcomes designed to minimize incarceration exposure or reduce the long-term consequences associated with a felony sex offense conviction. Strategic negotiation can be an important component of protecting a defendant's future, reputation, and legal rights. What to do if you're arrested for incest in Chicago, Illinois? An incest arrest in Chicago is a serious issue. What you say and do in the hours and days after an arrest can have an enormous impact on your case. That's why the expert attorneys at Combs Waterkotte recommend the following for any Cook County residents facing incest charges. Exercise your right to remain silent. Immediately, Chicago police investigators may aggressively question suspects about family history, living arrangements, and past relationships. Refusing to answer questions without an attorney present can help prevent damaging statements or misunderstandings during the investigation. Call a Chicago sex crimes defense attorney. Incest allegations often involve sensitive evidence, family witnesses, and severe reputational consequences. Early legal intervention may help preserve evidence, prevent investigative mistakes, and prepare a stronger defense strategy from the beginning of the case. Do not consent to searches without legal advice. Investigators may request access to phones, computers, cloud accounts, or private residences after an arrest. Politely declining consent until speaking with a defense lawyer can help protect your constitutional rights and personal privacy. Stay off social media while the case is pending. Prosecutors and investigators may monitor social media accounts for statements, photographs, or interactions they believe support their allegations. Even seemingly unrelated posts can be misinterpreted and later used against you during criminal proceedings, so it's better not to post at all. Preserve text messages, emails, and social media records. Digital communications often become central evidence in Chicago incest investigations. Saving complete message histories, call logs, and social media interactions may help your defense attorney identify context, inconsistencies, or evidence contradicting the prosecution's narrative. Avoid contacting the alleged victim. Even if the allegations involve a consenting adult family member, interacting with the accuser after an arrest can create additional legal problems. Prosecutors may argue the communication was intimidation, witness tampering, harassment, or an attempt to influence testimony. Do not discuss the allegations with family members. Incest investigations frequently involve recorded jail calls, cooperating relatives, and emotional family disputes. Anything said to parents, siblings, spouses, or other relatives after an arrest could later be introduced as evidence by Cook County prosecutors. Combs Waterkotte is a leading criminal defense law firm serving the entire states of Illinois and Missouri. We have offices in St. Louis, Chicago, Kansas City, Clayton, Branson, and Belleville. We look forward to helping you with your criminal defense attorney needs.